Hello, my name is Sarah Sackins. I'm the writer and director of the short film The Beauty of Violence. It's a 6 to 8 minute long experimental short film music video, and it centers around a nameless woman who feels like an outsider and is trying to find her own community. As such, she goes to a punk rock venue and ends up experiencing a kind of euphoric moment where the violent moshing of the punk rock show turns into a ballet dance, and hence she becomes accepted. In terms of what we're trying to do, specifically with me as the director, I'm trying to create a total visual template that is able to inhibit the beginning awkwardness and coldness of the story, combated with the fiery red hot aspects of the dancing and the acceptance and the beauty. It's real yin and yang that we are going to be creating.
My name is Raquel Navarre. I'm the producer and the first AD for The Beauty of Violence. Our budget for this film is around $500, but we plan to apply to grants and other things in an attempt to expand our budget so we have more creative potential with this project. Our target audience is about 18 to 40, as well as musicians and anybody looking to expand their musical repertoire into something else and explore other genres that they might not have considered before. Our plan for film festivals is to submit to local festivals first, like the Short Sweet Film Fest, or other festivals in the area, like in Akron or in Kent, including Kent State University festivals. And if it gets traction, we plan to submit to other festivals nationally or internationally, depending on how well we do.
We are looking to film at either an old punk venue that I used to go to in Akron a couple years back, but we also have a connection with Earthquaker Pedals, and they have a great warehouse where they film live concerts that we are looking to film at as well. We are both super excited to be doing this project, and for me personally, it's my personal love letter to Akron punk, and I think that when it comes to creating a community, there's nothing better than what my short will end up being.
Hi, my name is Hannah Johnson, and I am a first-year ceramics grad student in the MFA program. My work focuses on exploring the parallels between the vessel and the self, and the ways that we collect and contain our daily experiences, and how those over time really build to create the people that we are now. I'm also interested in exploring the way our perception alters our sense of self, and how this perception can change the sense of self over time, intentionally or unintentionally. So I have been exploring light in the last year as a medium in combination with ceramics, and there's so many interesting contrasts between these two materials. Light is intangible. You can't really contain it or touch it or feel it, whereas ceramic is this tangible, hands-on material that is very heavy, both physically but visually as well. And light offers so many effects that you can't necessarily get with ceramics. So reflection, illumination, additional colors through light that are total opposites to ceramics. There's also a really nice contrast between the two historically, as ceramics has a history as one of the oldest materials, whereas light has really only been around since the late 1800s. So I previously have worked with light on a small scale with single bulbs, but I feel that my work would benefit from being on a larger scale that is easier to relate to with our physical selves. But working on a large scale requires more lighting, which is cost prohibitive as a medium. So I'm really looking for ArtsLAUNCH to help me fund some materials to make a larger scale sculpture, and to better explore the ways that we have this perception of our sense of self, and how this perception can change through collection and containment.
Hi, my name is Camila Valle. I'm a second-year graduate student at the MFIS program, and today I'm here to talk a little bit about my thesis research and how ArtsLAUNCH can help me take it further.
I'm currently working on a creative design research that uses 3D print waste from the DUI hub and fuses or weaves it into fabric to create structure, texture, or print. Throughout the last semester, I have been collecting these 3D print waste filaments and failed prints to explore sampling with fabric and fashion. I developed a technique that stretches out the big blob of filaments with hot and cold water manually, so they can be weaved into the fabrics, creating print patterns using tiny holes made with the laser cutter or just used as straight filaments. The filaments that cannot be stretched out can be fused into the fabric the way they are, creating an abstract element to the fabric. The filaments are securely fused into the fabric using parchment paper and heat pressers in the DUI hub. As the first part of my method, research through practice, I'm making all these samples and noting all the ideas for future applications in fashion, but I've always loved other people's input and insights on my work, which leads to the second part of my method, the co-creative workshops, where other creatives and innovators can join me in exploration of these materials and creating something unique. And that is where the ArtsLAUNCH competition comes in. I plan to host multiple co-creative workshops in the DUI Hub to gain more insight and ideas from creating with others and watching others create. I want to be able to have posters and flyers to invite people to participate and have base materials that they can create with, such as basic t-shirts and canvas backs, creating an amazing experience in which people can inspire my creative process as a designer and at the same time create their own fashion piece and take it home.
This process will evolve into multiple cycles of creation and building up the thesis work and creative process. And hopefully at the end of the year, we'll host an exhibition showing all the artwork and garments created along the way. Thank you so much.
Hey y'all, thanks for tuning in to Black Squirrel Radio. You're listening to Mind on Design podcast, where we explore conversation on art and perspective from creator to consumer. I'm the host of your show, Frances Brenner. I'm a current junior fashion design major at Kent State University. This podcast was born in the basement of iconic fashion designer Cynthia Rowley in her New York studios. My friends and I often discuss ideas of art, fashion, and personal story while folding bikinis or organizing stock. Through years of listening to the testimonies of friends and strangers, as well as consuming thousands of media podcasts, I found a lack in the podcasting industry focusing on design, focusing on the mind behind design and the story it took to get to the final work, as well as focusing on people who are still in the process of figuring out their journey. I find this perspective will be extremely relatable for students who are figuring out where and how they want to apply themselves upon graduation. The other goal of this podcast will be to create community amongst the College of the Arts students, as well as the faculty and staff. I also want to take this podcast on a global level, and this is where the art grants will help me buy a lavalier mic to be able to interview inspiring artists from other communities, being my hometown, streets of New York, Connecticut, you name it. This mic will provide more of an encompassing perspective, as well as being able to inspire students within the university to connect and maybe network or take their ventures to the next level in collaboration. I appreciate the opportunity to apply for the artist grant and hope that I am a successful candidate for your competition.
The world of crochet is growing rapidly as creatives all over the world realize how accessible and affordable the craft can be. But there's a lack of established businesses in the industry that provide affordable patterns for those looking to create that next big statement piece for their wardrobe. My name is Caitlin Phillips, and I'm a senior entrepreneurship major and combined MBA student, and I am the CEO and founder of High and Hook.
Hein Hook is an e-commerce B2C business that creates affordable and stylish crochet patterns inspired by pop culture moments and current fashion trends. Instead of having to purchase expensive crocheted pieces, consumers can pay as little as $3 for access to high-quality patterns. This allows the consumer flexibility to create a beautiful piece exactly to their specifications without paying for the piece to be made. Hein Hook wants to inspire a new generation of creatives in the crochet space by giving them the tools they need to make something from scratch. Our patterns can equip crafters with the skills necessary to make and even sell their creations. With this grant money, I will purchase supplies to facilitate pattern creation such as yarn, stuffing, and other accessory items. I hope we can work together to innovate in the world of crochet.